welcome to Simon Says Sports.
And the first thing we're going to talk about is Game of Thrones.
The first thing we're going to talk about is Game of Thrones, but it's going to be a little bit different. This episode's going to be about sports and gambling, actually. So, did you know you can actually bet on gambling? Because you can.
You can bet on gambling? I've never heard
excuse
you bet on gambling.
Excuse me.
That's an amazing concept.
You can McDonald's a Big Mac.
I don't know what's happening right now. My brain. I need to eat. You can gamble on Game of Thrones. So.
Well, and that's the thing. I was talking about that. I typically avoid the Free Folk Reddit page, which has the spoilers on all of that. Except last year, when HBO Spain uploaded one of the North of the Wall episode early, and so it's like I didn't want to find out about it, so I watched it just so I wouldn't get any of the spoils spoiled for me.
Right.
And so what I found out is that most of the people that give information were crew members of some sort. They were either extras, like one of the 750 background people, right, or one-day PAs, and just trying to find things. But from the producers, though, intentionally would send some actors to different locations to make you think that they're shooting. So they'd send them to Spain. It's like, oh, they're a part of King's Landing. Or they send them to Iceland. It's like, oh, they're part of the Winterfell. And so they intentionally did some of those things. So that's why some of the confusing things were going. But I did read ahead, and so I wonder how that works, though, with the betting on that, because there are...
Oh, you could get rich if you were on the set.
So yeah, well, I mean, it's like those leaks have been out for about 4 or 5 days now, and so
I'm going to butcher some of these names, but here's what we have up right now on Bovada.com. All right.
And your name, please?
Josh, by the way.
I'm Jere.
Nice to meet you, Jere. All right. Who will perish first in Season 8, Gilly or Hot Pie? And that is for this coming episode.
Ooh.
Wait, whoa. Actually, yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
So these are odds.
These are the odds
today for Bovada for this upcoming episode.
I can't wait to play this. Go on.
Okay. Well, then let's do this. So I'll give you guys the name, and you guys say who you think the favorite is.
To die, correct?
Yes. Okay,
actually,
so...
We'll keep talking real quick. We'll let Josh come down, because I think he'll want to play this, too. So just talk about flow stuff real quick.
He's messing up your whole flow.
I know, you are. I was in my zone over here, dude. I'm ready.
I was all ready to, like, give the...
I've been talking insurance all day, and now you're like, let's talk sports and Game of Thrones and betting. I'm like, now this is fun.
So you're using your actuary skills on both sides.
I'm trying.
Well, I will say I've previously said that there's only one happy couple that survives, and I've said that that's Samuel and Gilly. So no matter who's against Gilly, I'm going on the other person.
Well, I think that's already fucking decided.
Not necessarily.
Oh, you're right.
Because I mean, there's still 2 episodes left, and everybody fast travels now.
What's up?
Should I just eat that there or just eat it?
No, you can eat it.
Fine. You can talk at the same time. Because we're about to do some fun stuff. We're currently discussing betting odds on Game of Thrones on who's going to die.
Character deaths.
Get ready for
Getting a little
fire
wild.
spoilers, Josh.
At this point, I know what mainly happens, and it's how it happens.
It was great until the last 2 seasons, really. But
so I made it through season 6 without getting too much. But I knew, obviously,
the way season 6 ends. Stop right there.
I think
that's literally a fantastic ending.
Like I said, if you haven't watched Dexter,
I love Dexter.
Okay, season 4 ended. I don't know about how you felt about the other 2 seasons or 3 seasons.
You know,
they're awful.
I made it through the whole thing. I mean, diminishing returns definitely hit. Probably, season 4, season 5, but I still loved it all.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, so who was Yvonne Stravinsky was in it, and I love her. And
Colin Hanks was in it.
The other one, the Save the Last Dance, 10 Things I Hate About You. She was in it as well. Because you're blocking his camera shot. That's what's
well, he's right there. I am pretty. Wait. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I really, because she was in it. She was like season 5, I think.
Yeah, I don't.
She was like the co-serial killer with him for a while.
Yeah, that was.
That was probably one of my favorite.
So that almost brought me back. It's like, oh, maybe I'll watch it because then I heard the way it ended. It's like,
so this segment is currently brought to you by who'd you order?
Chipotle, give me free food.
Hey, Chipotle, give us free food. Please give us free food. Please. I have the voice for it. Anyways.
I have the colon.
And he will happily go ahead and sell
Julia
off. Julia Stiles. All right. So go ahead and give some props.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that we're doing this.
So
we're currently discussing Game of Thrones props and what you can get bet on right now.
All right, so this is going into this episode coming up on Sunday, and I'm going to butcher some of these names, so just
I can help you with that.
Hold the laughing at first. All right.
No.
Nope.
All right, so the one we hit while Josh was gone, who will perish first in Season 8, Gilly or Hot Pie? Who do we think's the favorite?
Well, again, as I've said, it's like I think that Hot Pie or Gilly that's the one happy couple. So it'd have to be Hot Pie. But then I don't think we're going to see him again.
Push.
Yeah.
Push.
You say Hot Pie.
I would say Hot Pie.
I say push.
I say that.
Hot Pie.
Yeah, I say Gilly is in so much
Y'all
plot
couldn't
armor.
Be even more wrong if you tried. Gilly is a minus 300 favorite to die first.
Well, that's because I
Hot
think
Pie's plus 200.
Yeah, because I think everybody thinks that Hot Pie is done appearing and that there's a chance. But I think Gilly is covered in so much plot armor that nothing could get through.
Yeah, I mean,
She's literally the dragon of yore.
Yeah, they left her up north.
And pregnant and protected.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, granted, they have killed pregnant characters before, but
Well,
these current writers
Technically,
are
they
not going to
stabbed
do
the
that.
baby first.
Yeah, they didn't kill
you're
Talisa
right.
until after.
They killed the fucking baby first. I was just saying, but the guys who are currently writing for these shows, they don't have the balls to do that. So
No.
They killed a formerly pregnant
push.
character.
No one dies.
Of those, I think. But Gilly's the one that's most likely to reappear, so I understand why she would be more likely in the favorites.
All right, next one here. Who will perish first? Jon Snow, Bran Stark.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I got neither.
Bran. I think I don't. But I mean, ooh,
The pack survives.
You know what?
Testing
Push.
you guys.
Push.
You can't keep on saying push.
No, I
We
got.
need an answer.
I'm
All
going-
right, fine.
As,
You know what?
as I've
Jon Snow.
As I've said, the lone wolf dies and the pack survives. So I think all the Stark children survive, and so Jon Snow would be before.
Jon Snow
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah,
I don't know that he will, but I
Bran-
think he's more likely to.
I think there's a 0% chance Bran dies. So
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Vegas agrees with you. Jon Snow minus 140. Bran is at even. So they
Ooh,
agree
really?
with you guys on that. All right, let me get challenging.
Can I
one
buy
here.
points?
I don't believe we're straight money line on these.
Ah, damn.
All right. Well, let me
Shucks.
get a good one here. Let me get a good one. Oh, I'm gonna kill these names here.
Less than
That's fine.
10% of the population is left-handed.
No, yeah. He's right. So as we continue on,
Will Arya Stark marry
Arya Stark and
Gendry?
Gendry.
There we go. So
Arya
I'm gonna
Stark
butcher
or
these.
Gendry?
No, Mary.
Will
Oh.
they marry?
Breaking the hearts of all fans everywhere. No.
I mean, yeah, but that was kind of already answered.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
But
But no is a very big favorite, minus 1,000. Yes,
Wow.
plus 550.
Wow, really?
But see, when for you guys to have such definitive answers with that, so like a professional better, so on a real, if they are that definitive, minus 1,000 is nothing. If they know it's going to happen, because I mean, minus 1,000 saying definitively is going to happen.
Right.
So
Yeah,
for you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
to say that, that's one of those things that would be weird to me. Then for you guys to say, you know, your guys' answer was immediately no, and then for it to be a problem. But then if it's such a wide, perfect example, Kyle Murray coming into the NFL draft this year, started off, I mean, way before the draft. I mean, he was easy as 2-1, and then it got to the point before the draft where some boards took him off. He got as high as minus 2,500 to go first.
Well,
Really?
Isn't that what kind of happened with the betting on the Super Bowl before, like after the championship games? Everybody's like Rams, but the betting public who may have not paid attention, they're all betting the Patriots, so that pushes the line. So it moves the line because of what the professionals would think, and obviously
Exactly.
it ended up that way.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes they're even going to make a line, and like I've always said, when a line looks too good to be true,
It
or
is
it looks too
always
funky,
too good to be
Yeah.
true.
always. Well, and that's a perfect example. I'm going to segue into tonight. So I don't know if you guys you probably have not, because you guys aren't nerds like me when it comes to this.
Different nerds.
Different kind of nerds.
I like it. Fair enough.
I had my betting phase. That was fun. That lasted about 5 years.
Well, see, here's my thought. What happened with cannabis years ago? Everyone was like, oh, cannabis is going to be legal. And everyone's like, oh, you're late to the party. So my thought is get it on the sports betting before it comes legal in North Carolina. Now, I don't have a reliable source, but I mean, it was a drunk in Conover, North Carolina. So that's pretty reliable, right?
Right, absolutely.
Totally.
Oh, 100%.
He says that actually Cherokee's working on getting a sports book. Now, once again, Cherokee Casino.
Yeah. They've been talking about that for a while now.
Yeah,
actually,
so I guess now it's starting to get underway, and so I think that's the big thing too. Is that there's so many things in the industry outside of actually, hey, I'm gonna go. place
Cherokee
a
added
bet.
table games a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, they finally did.
So they're
live
definitely
table
gonna
games.
they're definitely going to make the move.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now,
Cherokee's
what was
pretty nice, by the way.
you know, I've actually never been in Cherokee.
You don't, dude. It used to be a dump, but they made some renovations.
Well,
Really?
it wasn't even the surroundings. It was that there was no table games. It was smoking and no alcohol. So
Yeah,
it
so
was
you're
a triple bad.
Like, what am I going to do in a casino where I can't play live table games and drink?
And drink.
Like,
and they're smoking right in front of you. So it's like I'll take that if I can have the other two, but it's like nope, you get none of that.
No, but you get all of it now. So
Right. So what would y'all guess the line is tonight for Raptors? For the Raptors and the Sixers after the Sixers just got killed the other day?
They're in Toronto, right?
No, they're in
No,
Philly.
it's in Philly.
it's in
Game
Philly.
6 is in Philly.
Game 6 is in Philly. I'm going to say Philly probably 4,
You think minus or plus 4?
-4. I think Philly's going to be favorite.
I think Toronto's favored by
I think
2.
Yeah, Toronto by 3.5.
So you're giving them home
Big
court advantage.
Josh killed it. So no, it actually. Well, one thing too is you never know where a line really starts.
Well, let me say it's like I said the 3.5, but that's with the you took the -1 for the home and then got the correct number on that.
I was kind of a basketball player.
No, is it really 6'9"? You played?
What?
I had no idea.
Volleyball was a real sport. Don't let him fool y'all.
Man, listen. You joke. You were mocking team handball earlier. You could be an Olympic level team handball player.
I was great at golf till the clubs just weren't long enough
He's
anymore.
real good with his hands. Don't let him fool you either.
Both of them.
So wait, the line's what?
I'm good with feet too. I can get all you guys.
What did it open up at?
Well, it opened up on international books. I heard it even opened up as Philly as a favorite of -2. And that was according to, I was on pregame.com earlier, listening to the boys over there on their podcast. And now on Bovada, we are at +2.5 for Philly. So we're talking a 4
4-point swing.
4 to 6 point swing, depending on where you're going. So regardless, that's huge.
Boy, somebody could vote if they got in at the right time each time. They could have bet the same bet on both sides and clean up.
And yeah.
Yeah. And that's interesting because, I mean, last game, Toronto was they were a 6-point home favorite. And to go on the road, that is a huge swing. I mean, that's 4 points. When, like you were saying, too, that's including, they say 3.5 to 4 points for home court. So, huge swings. That line initially, I mean, what is everyone going to think when they look at that line? Toronto, because, I mean, they just cleaned up against Philly, so they're going to think the public is going to do what? They're going to jump all over them.
All over them.
When a line moves that many points in a matter of hours, that's fishy. I mean, I personally, I do. So I have a Twitter. I post plays on Twitter, free plays.
Go
and
and put your Twitter handle.
at Jay Covers
Yeah, plug
704 on Twitter. On a current 12-7 plus $865 run.
Say it
All for
again
free.
without John jumping on your
Say it
handle.
one more time. Go ahead.
At Jay Covers 704 JCOVERS 704.
You have an Instagram as well?
Jake
Believe it or
Covers.
not,
That's pretty good. I like that.
believe it or not, I am one of the only people in America that does not have an Instagram.
You might want to go and do that.
I know. I
You
need
want
to
to
get
be
on
like
it.
those gambling Dave dudes and all these other motherfuckers
Yeah,
out
that
here
dude's
trying
a
Because
to.
then you
fucking
have a
joke.
picture of the whole
Isn't he?
set of
I
lines.
understand
Yeah,
that, but
but-
I'm just saying, like, all these dudes out there trying to.
Time out though. If someone's going to spend that money though, props to him. I
So-
mean, dude's a snake, but good for him.
So one of the things that causes the lines to move that much is when the professionals make the line of what they're expecting based on what's going on in the flow and where it is and health and injury. But usually when it moves that much is when the public goes opposite of whatever that is hard just because of whatever reason they think it is. Like, oh, so Toronto won big, so clearly they're going to win big again. So that has to push the line because it's like, oh, we have
That's exactly what's happening.
we have too many
Yeah.
outsiders, the non-professionals.
I would put my money on the Sixers.
Well, yeah. Well, then what will happen is there'll be that the sharp movement, which depending on who you ask, a half a point to a point in favor. And then what happens? Then, like you just said, you get the public. So what happened was opened up at -2 Philly, and then the sharps were like, oh, we can get the Raptors at +2 because the professionals are going for value as well. They're
Right.
not necessarily looking at all these other factors that the normal Joes are looking at, and. So typically that first little movement, okay, you can bet sharps. And then after that, like you just said, it's okay. Then it's the wannabe sharps. Then it's Joe Public. Then it's just everybody else. But for a swing that big, I mean, on an NBA line, because it was probably posted at earliest, after the last game. And for it to move that much in, less than 24 hours is just... That's crazy. That means something's up. But you know what? There are times, though, something crazy like that does happen, and, they do get it right, and everyone does win. And that's whenever the sharps and the public are on the same side, though, that's typically go the opposite.
Well, I bring up the Super Bowl again because just typical fans are like, oh, Tom Brady and the Patriots are going to win. But going in throughout the course of the season, everything that's been happening and the way that the Rams were playing is the Rams were the favorite to begin with. And I think it got down to close to even, like near the kickoff or it dropped down towards only like 2 points. It was like maybe 4. And then but it moved a lot. But then there was the opportunity. I guess the professionals, once they see the line move that far, then they can like protect themselves by like taking the other thing, and to where, depending on where the final is, they could actually win both bets.
And, it's funny you said that because so right when the line came out, I jumped on the Patriots money line the minute the line was released, because I knew that from that point going forward, only money was going to come in on the Patriots.
Right.
So even if I didn't want that bet closer to the Super Bowl, I could get the Rams and not lose any value,
right,
or not lose any money. But it was weird. It did not. Now, different books are going to do different things, obviously. But Vegas had it open as -1 on the Rams, and
right,
it closed anywhere from -2 to -3 on the Patriots.
So it's like a 4-point swing.
Yeah.
Which once again is just crazy. Did you guys hear McVay come out yesterday and say that he outworked himself? He said that he watched too much film coming into the Super Bowl. He said, I watched too much and I just overdid it.
I don't believe it.
No.
Well, I mean, that's
His
the
game
thing.
plan was trash.
I mean, there's a lot of overcoaching does happen in
There
sports.
was.
Like a lot of people need to just go out and just play.
Because his initial game plan was the opposite of what he'd been doing all year that worked. Like,
What was up with Gurley? Yeah,
Well,
I
exactly.
said
Gurley was
something was up
not
with
Knee
his
surgery. They got a knee surgery.
Did he
was
end up getting knee surgery?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he got
because,
surgery, but there was a
that's
knee
the
issue.
first
It's like
the-
arthritis
the
or something
yeah.
like that, maybe.
C.J. Anderson came in and had a great run.
First
though.
he had two really good games, but no Gurley at all.
But they didn't intend to run him as much
exactly
in the Super Bowl.
they
That was
had
the
to,
problem.
because Gurley was hurt. But no, they kind of abandoned.
But I mean, he even you run the ball 20 plus times a game because you want the defense to feel getting rushed, but they just stopped doing it.
Gurley had 14 total touches, I think, in the Super
What a
Bowl.
boring game, too.
That's,
Let me just say, what a
that's
terrible
half
game.
what I'd have gave him. I'd have given him double that.
Yeah,
No,
he only
you had to keep going. But that's the thing, though, is the
I think between him and C.J. Anderson, they had like
the McVay
under 20
overthinking
touches.
a thing is, I think there's something to that, because even with everything, if the new McCourty doesn't run all the way across the field to knock the ball down in the back of the end zone, the Rams are ahead.
Yeah.
And then everything is different, and then it could go on the Rams.
So who would you take tonight in that game?
Oh, Philly.
Philly?
Absolutely,
Yeah, absolutely Philly.
Because
I'd say Philly.
You think Embiid's going to show up?
I think the line's fishy. I mean,
He's actually looking from a gambling perspective.
yeah.
Right?
And then because I would take Toronto is why I would take Philly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does make
Because the
perfect
obvious
sense.
answer is, well, of course, Toronto just
They should
kill-
close them out.
Like, what was
Exactly.
the line last night for Celtics and Bucks?
It got up
It
to
was Milwaukee by like 7, probably, right?
It was actually -9. It worked
Oh
its
my
way
God.
down.
They were a
Minus
9-point
nine.
favorite. I would have taken that, actually.
Well, I mean, they've won. They've outscored the
The way
Celtics by
Kyrie been playing,
65 points over the last 4 games. So that's like 15, 16 points a
Dude,
game.
that was one of the worst 4-game playoff stretches by a superstar ever.
It was awful.
I agree.
It was atrocious.
Are we
Kyrie
calling
did-
Kyrie a superstar though? Can we call him a superstar? I'm asking. It's rhetorical.
Well, no. I mean, it's a legitimate question. He gets so much credit for his dribble and making 1 3-point shot at the right time.
And playing with LeBron.
Well,
Because what did he do without LeBron?
no, he doesn't get credit for playing with LeBron. He gets LeBron's credit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. Because there's a lot of people out there who are let's just face it, they're fucking LeBron haters. Who are like, LeBron would never won that championship without Kyrie. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe, because he hit one shot. I mean,
But even again, it was a tie game.
it's the same people that said that LeBron would have never won that championship with Miami because Ray Allen won that one shot.
But
everyone forgets around the context of what happened around those two plays.
Well,
What
the
a
thing is,
three. What a corner that
Didn't
got. What
LeBron
a
have like
see
16
in my head
fourth-quarter
right now.
points or something?
well,
ridiculous like that?
LeBron hit the 3 before that tied the game, that made the 3 that Ray Allen made even possible.
Yeah.
And
Double-digit fourth quarter.
then
It's
and he has the
Yeah, I
great's
know.
block in NBA history, the possession
Kyrie-
before
Thiago's-
Kyrie hits the third.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's
my
what
God.
I'm saying. Like, all the LeBron haters, like, oh, he would have won those games. No. What did he do around those two plays to get him to that point?
You want to see what Kyrie Irving did leading a team? Look at the 3 years of Cleveland before LeBron went
Exactly.
back.
Well, look, last year Boston. I mean, they made it further. They made it to the Eastern
Without
Conference
him.
Finals.
That was-
and
without
lost
him.
in a Game 7 to LeBron.
They beat that team.
That was the question. That was the thing. Is like Boston and Cleveland both made the Eastern Conference Finals last year without Kyrie Irving.
I actually said that. I was like, Kyrie looks terrible during this series because both
yes.
those last 2 teams made it without him.
And if anything, that's what the Celtics should have said. And this is where I've been questioning Ainge's ability to actually make the right move. Is like he should have shipped Kyrie Irving off in the offseason.
Agreed completely.
Like right then to get any value, because now he's going to walk and he has nothing.
He's got nothing out of him, and he didn't really lose much.
Well, he did, because I think he's going to.
Isaiah turned into nothing. Though.
Oh no! I agree with that, and he avoided the max
That was a
deal for
full-on
Zion.
swap.
But
Poor guy.
with Kyrie walking and he having nothing, I think it's going to force him to panic into the Anthony Davis move, which will blow up this team.
They should trade for LeBron.
Well, no, the thing is, if you
LeBron needs to go back to the East Coast.
Yeah, no. The thing is, if you lose Kyrie Irving, you don't go get Anthony Davis.
No, you don't.
You don't mortgage your future
No,
at all.
you don't.
No.
I think you should go with what you have. I mean,
Go with
Hayward,
what you have and build.
I
Hayward did
let
good in
Kyrie
the
walk
season.
and use that money to keep Tatum.
You don't let him walk. I
Yeah,
mean, you got to do
keep
something.
Tatum, keep Rozier.
He's a free agent.
And
you have no
re-sign
choice.
So he is a free agent
Yeah,
at the
he's
end
a
of
free
this year?
agent. You have no choice.
You let Kyrie walk, and then you let Rozier start at the 1.
And you have Marcus Smart as the
Marcus
backup
Smart,
point guard.
the backup, and then
Tatum's going to come after 20 points a game next year.
And Brown is going to jump up as well, and
Brown was
Hayward's going
non-existent
to
this
jump up.
series, though.
You got to see if you can unload Gordon if you can.
If you can,
He
but
came
I
out
don't
at the
think
end of the
they're
year. I think here's the thing: he's got a bad contract. You're not going to get anything close to anything in return.
Yeah,
for him.
he's not going to for the contract he has. He's not going to perform for it. But if he continues to be off the bench, and then you have Tatum and Brown, and then that works because then you have an all-star scorer off the bench.
I mean, we'll see what happens because, like I said earlier in the last podcast, Paul George showed us that's a 2-year recovery from an injury.
And was it the Celtics have 3 first-round draft picks? They could conceively draft Bol as one of their picks. It's just as a flyer, just to see what happens.
This is a great draft. So
It's really deep.
a really deep draft. So wait, you do hockey, right? Too.
Love hockey.
So what's the line for tonight?
It has changed, so I'm going to get an updated one before I say it. I was actually surprised on the series price, so you can obviously bet the series as well, which is as simple as it sounds. Who's going to win the series? And
Can
it
you
came
also
out.
bet within games, or does it have to?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely. I was just saying I'm going to look up the series or the game price, but the series price was only minus 150 Boston, which was very surprising to me.
Really?
Now there has been a little bit of movement tonight. It opened, or at least what I recall seeing first was the Bruins amount around minus 135. They're up to minus 150. The Bruins tonight. Carolina plus 130.
Carolina. And that's not even being a home. That's not even being a homer like Carolina. They're a hotter team.
Well, yeah, that's what all playoff hockey is all about.
All
It's
about
so good
goalie and
What
hotness.
game is coming
Is
up?
it too
What
much
game is
rest?
coming
That
up?
was my
Tonight?
question.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Canes Bruins.
Eastern
No, I know
Conference
that,
Final.
but what game? Is
Game
it
one.
Game one,
one?
Eastern
Okay, cool.
Conference Finals.
All right.
Was it too much rest? I know they had some injured players on the Hurricanes, so it's nice to get those going. But I mean, look what happened with Boston. Look what happened with the Blue Jackets. Look what happened with the Islanders. They both had a lot of extended rest, and it just killed that momentum. And that's my only worry for the Hurricanes.
One issue. That's one last issue. But
Because who is the better team? If we're just taking everything away, I mean,
Bruins.
and that's. But there's also that one team each playoff who has it. You don't know what it is, what they have, and that's what the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have it.
The Canes have it.
I saw on SportsCenter last week the Hurricanes are like the first team to start the season at like 101 odds to win it all, to be favored right now. They were favored last week to win the whole thing.
Oh, I saw some tickets that were crazy. This guy had like $10 to win like 1,000 or something. Like it was. There's a lot of people who have futures on the Blues as well. So the Blues at one point were obviously one of the worst teams in hockey, and the people.
Yeah, they were the 8-1 on the other side, right?
I think at one point, I think they got up to win the cup. I think they were 80
Well, the Blues and
to
Canes
100.
at the start of the second half of the season, they became the 2 hottest teams. So I mean, it's very much in play. So,
Well, I mean, that's the thing about
hockey is all about
playoff hockey.
Hockey and baseball. It's all about a lot of the times, at least recently, if a team can get hot and pitching can get hot, hitting can get hot, a goalie can get hot. It's just it's that those two sports in general. It's all about who's got the hot hand.
Baseball's so weird. Individually talented players like hardly ever translate to
Oh,
team
yeah, but you got
success.
Houston Astros going out there and winning the World Series.
Well, Mike
a couple years
Trout,
ago,
who's been the best player in baseball for about the last half
Until he
decade.
got paid.
and hasn't done
Hasn't done shit this year. Who's our boy in Philly? Hasn't done shit this
Bryce
year.
Harper. Well,
Harper.
there were many statistical things about
yeah,
Harper that
Machado
his best
hasn't-
year was at 23.
Machado's been terrible.
But my only thing
Well,
is,
he's a home run hitter in a pitcher's park. It's a
Yeah, it's
terrible
not going to
choice.
work out very well.
and then my other thing with that is too, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked yet, and I won't get fully into baseball until NHL and NBA is over because baseball's
It's the All-Star game.
it's so hard to watch now.
Well, but also-
162 games. Fuck
The thing is,
that.
the people that actually like your real good gamblers, the guys who are just insane. Baseball is where they make their money.
Oh, 100%.
And the analytics and what they put into just analyzing a game on a daily basis between weather, humidity, wind, all kinds of shit, like who's hitting where, who's pitching where. They look into all that shit because I was watching I think it was Real Sports about baseball gambling, and when they start to break it down, how they actually get into how they make these picks, dude, I'm like, nope.
You can bet the first 5. I mean, you can do anything. I got a guy now who does algorithms on Twitter, and this dude's ridiculous. And first inning, will there be a score or not?
Yeah,
I mean, first 5, who's going to win? First 5 over under.
Where's the sun? Where's the
It's
moon?
crazy.
Like,
Well, and that's the thing.
where's the
though.
tide? Is it going to be during high tide or low tide? Like,
And that's kind of always my rebuttal to the people who are like, oh, sports gambling's this, sports betting's this. And it's like, well, it's like everything else. If you let it overcome and you take the negative, sure, but it's an analytical sport, and it's something that's like you're...
Absolutely. Just like analyzing as far as like just talent for baseball, they're using stats and analytics to analyze players, and baseball was at the forefront of that. And basketball, and Maury was Houston.
Bill James perspectives and Moneyball.
You got these guys coming in here and like, what will work? What's the new trend? What's going to happen?
Right.
Like, it's real crazy how it's actually shifted the way we perceive sports now. And football is just they're late to the show. Because football is football.
Because they don't need to be. It's that 10 who sits next to you in class that everyone's looking at, but no one wants to say anything to because they can't. I mean, that's the NFL right there. I mean, NFL is – doesn't matter what they do, all these controversies. Guess what I'm going to be doing week 1?
Hey, I'll be at the game.
Well, that's one of the benefits.
I'm not going to lie to you, though. My interest in football has kind of waned in the last few years.
But scarcity is what benefits it. It's Sunday is the one day. Yes, there's the Thursday. Yes, there's the Monday. But it's like Sunday is the one day you can see everybody.
17 weeks in the playoffs, man. It's short.
I'll watch Oakland and the Bills on a Thursday just to watch it.
Someone pull the phone. I want to know. I said this on WFNZ 610. I said that this year's draft was going to be one of the lowest rated drafts ever because of Endgame and fucking.
Search whatever you want.
I don't know for ratings.
The most people attended.
Yeah, I was going to say it was nuts.
I saw ratings as far as. Anyways, who's not going to go to Nashville?
Yeah,
it's a great spot to hold the draft.
Well, it's in Vegas next year.
It's in yeah.
The bachelorette parties were all upset.
I saw that. I saw that.
What are all these dudes doing
players?
here?
I'm sorry.
Assholes.
Is there too much dick for you?
Isn't that the opposite of the intent of your party here?
That's funny. So while he's looking that up, so what would you guys guess? Obviously we had that Kevin Durant injury last night.
That's a big deal.
They play tomorrow in Houston, right?
Did he? Is it actually
strained calf?
A lot of people were saying it was an Achilles for a second.
That's because a lot of people are stupid. He walked off.
Yeah,
did he walk off? Wait, he walked off. I didn't see the injury happen.
So it literally just came up on my phone a minute ago on SportsCenter. It's looked at as a mild calf strain. He'll be reevaluated next week.
He will be out Friday though.
He's out Friday.
He's out Friday.
So
Houston.
So but it's
what's the line at though?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to guess. It's in Houston, and they're still the Warriors. I'm going to say Houston gets like 6.
I was going to say 6 or 7.
2.5 at most.
Oof. 7.
7?
Wow.
I agreed with him. I was going to say
7.
They're still the Warriors, guys.
Initially, in my brain, I was thinking maybe 9. I'm like, wait, no. They played
all the
really
disrespect.
well without Durant last night.
They're talking about Boogie coming back like next series or something.
Wait. Just to clarify, the Rockets are giving 6. The Rockets are -7, or giving 7. The Rockets are -7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You would think it'd be a little bit higher without do it one more time.
Okay.
Without having Durant, you'd think it'd be a little bit higher. But honestly, they played that last half of that fourth quarter. They played very well without Durant, which kind of makes you think.
Well, again,
they could very well close them out.
The biggest damage to Durant will be once he leaves and how successful Golden State still
They're
is.
29-4 when he doesn't play.
I think it makes them want the game more.
Well,
yeah.
Golden State
to play.
+7 in the playoffs. What?
Oh no, him to play, yeah, but it's that's that weird thing. It's like next year, the danger for the betting is everybody is going to be all on the Knicks with Durant and Kyrie Irving there and whatever first round pick.
That could be a dud,
and they're going to implode.
That could be a dud.
They will not get along.
Kyrie, Durant, Zion,
well, or whatever rookie it is.
We're jumping the gun on Zion.
Yeah, they only have a 14% chance of that pick.
I know. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like whatever rookie they have. It's a terrible situation for them to be in.
So they haven't had one game this year decided by less than 6 points when Houston and Golden State's played. And that's another very interesting factor with giving that line so high.
I'm surprised that's continued in the playoffs because I remember the regular season it was just like blowouts one way or the other.
It was the same situation with the Nuggets and the Blazers, and the Nuggets came out and put it on them last game.
Tonight's going to be a good one. That's going to be
I love that
What do you guys
series.
think the line's tonight? It's in Portland.
In Portland? Oh, that's going to be super close. It's got to be like 2.
In favor of...
in Portland?
I think it's in favor of Denver. So.
I think Denver's plus... Or no, Denver is favored by 2.
Portland 2.
No.
Portland's -3.5.
Damn.
Portland at home, man. That's and one thing is also Denver is their home record this year. I don't have it handy, but like it's ridiculous. I'm going to bring it up now.
Amazing at home, best team in the league.
And I think
they're learning as they
27-14.
play.
I think they're 27-14 at home.
I thought it was better than that.
Oh, it's way better than that.
Yeah.
Their fourth loss at home was in January.
We're looking it up right now
Because I was remembering the records and things.
We got facts. That was a blowout. Jokic is like my favorite guy to watch lately.
While I'm looking
he's
these up,
amazing.
I love
they
the
say
way
he's
he
out
plays
of shape.
basketball.
They
What?
say he's like from everyone who knows him. They say
he's out of shape.
Yeah.
He played 68 minutes. He played
Well, I mean,
68
he's out of
no.
He can,
That's
he
how
can
much
be
of an-
more in shape, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you
how much
see
of an
him, he
animal
can be
he is,
more in
yeah.
shape.
That's how good he is. I mean, if you look at him, he looks out of shape.
He plays.
He doesn't look-
He plays fast so slowly.
He doesn't look like an athlete that's like in shape. If you look at him compared to every other
love him.
power forward center,
He's rounded. He's rounded at
Josh
the
feels
shoulders.
one with him.
He does. You like his game, don't you?
I do.
I genuinely think.
Oh, no, his game is amazing. I mean,
Yep.
this is the closest to what any of us would have seen a healthy Arvydas Sabonis.
Oh man,
Sabonis or a
Go for it.
Bill
No, it's
Walton.
just making static.
Yeah, he's static.
Because of the power in the
power of
audio.
the lines. Yeah.
In
No,
the zone. I didn't hear anything.
watching him play is probably what we get from watching Sabonis or even Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Love was initially when he was originally with the Timberwolves. That was very close with his outlet passing and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm just saying.
But he wasn't the. I mean, he got the rebounding, but he wasn't the rebounder like
Yeah,
that.
Jokic
is.
made a move the other day in the post and went 5-hole on somebody.
Oh, it was
for a layup.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
amazing.
Divac was close passing wise, but he couldn't do the scoring or the other things, or he didn't even rebound as well.
Vlade took charges. That's
Oh
what
no,
was
he
there to
did.
do.
No, I mean
That's
he
what
was
there to do.
but he was such a
He
when
was there to get knocked over by Shaq.
Sacramento Vlade was the best version of that. I mean, I loved watching that team.
That 2001 Kings team.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, they were
That
so
was
much
an amazing
fun to
team
watch.
Here's an interesting question.
So many good passers.
Let's say Golden State wins, Denver wins. Do we give Denver any sort of chance?
I do. I think Denver
With Durant playing?
with or without Durant.
Well, the
Let's
interesting
assume Durant's going to play.
The
'cause
interesting thing, though, is like the
pretty good matchup.
The weakness Golden State has is in the center position. They don't have
and Jokic would eat
is
them alive.
ridiculous.
Now, at one point, I was hearing whispers there was a chance Boogie may come back.
If that happens. But
Yeah.
they get Boogie's a defensive liability.
Well,
They-
I mean,
think they're-
100%.
They're plus minus with him on the court
Is like minus 18.
Yeah,
per 100.
yeah. They are
It's the
not.
worst, it's the worst lineup.
They're not good with Boogie on the court, especially with Durant too.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the shocking thing is like his offense is not good enough to offset how his defense
not
is
at
with that
all.
group.
That's the big issue. His defense is that bad.
Yeah, ESPN saying the Warriors do expect Cousins to return at some point. So
If that happens, I actually think Denver has a shot.
Well, but the thing is with Jokic, the thing that makes that better is that
You
Warriors-
think they
Say-
sweep?
yeah, they
I think
do.
Warriors are winning in 5.
No, literally every big.
I mean-
no, there was a game this year where it was Golden State and Denver playing for the number 1 seed during the regular
it was like
season.
35
And-
points or
yeah,
something.
and everyone was amped up, and Golden State just said, and just waxed them. It's
Well,
not close.
No, and I don't think
You
it
think
is.
you think it's a sweep?
I think it's 4 or 5.
I think it's.
Denver definitely wins their game 3.
It's a gentleman's sweep. You think?
But
They'll get one because that's the one thing.
they'll get their first
interesting.
game at home in Denver. They'll get that one.
Well, that's one thing too is Golden State's bench. I mean, who's
Golden State's notoriously good in game 3s.
That's the only one I think Denver. If they don't get it, then I think it might be 4 games straight. But
Wait, what?
the thing that Denver would have to do is literally run the offense from Jokic, and whoever Curry is defending, run the back door through him and just
All day line.
run him through picks.
And they
run
could
him
murder. They can murder him.
They
Doing
could,
that.
but that doesn't matter because Klay Thompson only needs the ball for 8 seconds and will score 30 points.
Yep, I love
And-
Clay. He's my favorite. He's the only guy I like on that team, really.
And Clay came back and had a really good game last night. So.
Well, he knows when to show up. It's a contract year for him. He knows when
all
to
that
show up.
all that clatter about Clay's not happy and yada yada yada. I think that was all ruse.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I think all
That was-
that's true. All of that is absolutely true.
You think?
All Golden State has to do is give him the max contract, and he's staying.
You think he stays?
That's absolutely he stays.
is it really that bad of a thing if Durant doesn't stay? I mean,
I think Durant should leave.
you
He
double
needs to leave.
up.
He ruined the damn league.
The
get Curry.
Pussy.
The
Yeah, completely agree.
The decision for Golden State is do they pay Draymond Green in 2 years?
You
Well,
keep
here's the
Green.
thing too. They're
He'll be
moving to a
31.
new stadium
He'll be
as well.
31?
We got a new arena coming up,
Played
so
4 years
you want
college.
to fill those
Oh
up.
yeah, he did play 4 years, but he's actually. If you've looked
He-
at what
he-
he's done in
he-
this playoffs, he's done.
He turned it back on.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
He sucked all year.
yes,
He
and that's
shit the
the
bed.
danger though. It's like next year, it's a
No, no,
contract
no, no,
year.
no,
He
no,
needs
no.
to play. He'll be 31. You're not giving a max deal to that guy when
Well, I
you
know.
can
Look
when
at
you can
Chris
find
Paul.
a younger guy.
Chris Paul got a max.
Terrible contract.
Terrible
Dang, I was
contract.
just about to
Terrible
say,
contract.
Yeah, that's not a good contract.
Terrible contract.
If Chris Paul's contract was $15 million less a year, only at 20,
They'd
they
be
could have gotten
great.
another backup point. They could have kept
No, they
Uma
could have kept- they
Bute
could Bute,
and
and that would've
the
been-
other guy.
That would have been
And,
huge for them. You ever
Capella. No, not Capella.
Ariza.
Ariza. They could have kept those guys.
And they would. This series would have been a lot better if they had those two guys.
and they would have been
No,
fine.
yeah.
They would have been where they needed to be.
I mean, they're 1 win away from it going 7. It's not that bad of a series.
No, it's not.
It-
and
yeah.
And
and
it's going to Houston where they haven't lost a game yet in the series.
True.
Well, also,
Houston could win too. With Durant not playing, maybe.
Durant, they could win.
They could.
They could beat him in Game 7 with Durant.
No, that's the thing. It's not so much the offense. It's more about defense with Kevin Durant not playing because they're going to score.
Well, that's the
Kevin
thing.
Durant blocks changes a lot of shots.
Well, especially since he's playing smaller wing guys, and he's
basically
such an advantage in that.
But still, on defense, like they're starting Iguodala now. The Boogie's out. Durant is the center.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Iguodala
Draymond
looks
is.
old
but
on the bench. Can we just throw that out there?
What?
Like when he's on the bench, Iguodala looks old.
He's leading the playoffs in dunks by a mile.
I'm just saying though, like when you just look, he looks drained. Like he looks like he's been through some shit with that team.
Well, he
like,
has been.
He's
been to so many finals, and he has to do the hardest shit every year. He had to guard LeBron every
He
year.
had to guard LeBron every year. Yeah,
that will take years off your life.
You know what though? And no one's actually talking about this. The fact that, okay, this is the first time LeBron hasn't been in the playoffs in how long? And it's the first time he's not playing Team USA, not playing the playoffs.
14 years?
14 years? Do you think
his rookie year?
Do you think
His rookie year he missed.
Who knows what kind of rejuvenating shit he's doing this year with
HGH.
It doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't matter if it's the same team.
acting.
It doesn't matter. It was the same thing. I'm just saying
The team
LeBron
wasn't as bad as
Not
people
bad.
thought.
It wasn't.
They
No,
fell
when
apart.
when he was healthy,
They fell apart after.
They were fourth in the West.
But
So
they still didn't. They in the playoffs they still wouldn't have had the shooting. And
Well, they lacked the
their
shooting.
defense. Their defense could have been better, but they wouldn't have been able to score.
no,
all they
what I'm
needed to.
trying to get at is this is the first time LeBron's had a chance to just fucking
To
do
rest.
nothing
Oh,
but
yeah.
rest. He has.
As he stops his own
Moment of silence
podcast.
for a text.
Wait, what?
The Seahawks just cut Cam Chancellor and Doug Baldwin.
Whoa!
Russell Wilson
Breaking
cost
news.
too much.
No.
You know they haven't played in a year and a half.
Baldwin didn't play last year?
Baldwin-
I know Chancellor did.
Baldwin's got-
Baldwin played very well last year.
Baldwin has.
Well,
has
Baldwin's not surprising. They took what's his name in the draft this year.
Does anybody actually want
Why
to
am I
ask the
not?
Seahawks fan
Ole
who
Miss
knows
guy?
what's going on, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No,
go
they
ahead.
took,
Wait, you're a Hawks fan, aren't you?
Does anybody want to ask the Seahawks fan what's actually going on?
Oh.
Cam Chancellor
Hey,
had
fuck
the
you from
neck.
that Broncos Super Bowl
didn't
while
play
ago.
last
I'm a
season.
Broncos fan.
43 to 8.
Nightmares.
43 to 8.
Children.
43 to 8. I'll bring my
Focus.
Super Bowl ring next
Let's
time.
We
keep-
won
let's
it
keep-
next year.
Cam Chancellor had the neck injury and effectively retired last year, but
Yeah.
they didn't put him on the retirement list, so that's what that is.
So he's going to retire.
Okay.
I mean, he's already not played, and he already announced that basically last year. And Doug Baldwin, much like Bruce Irvin, I think, and the other guy, they've had those weird neck injuries, and Baldwin had one of those things. It's a degenerative thing, so he's retiring cut as well.
So it really
Yeah,
wasn't
so I
breaking
mean,
news, but we made
luckily
it sound like
for
breaking
Baldwin,
news.
2 years ago he got his contract, so he got his money. So yes, but that was the Frank Clark trade, is why they got rid of was the Russell Wilson thing, which it's like I almost wish he went to the Giants because the Giants still couldn't find anything to do around him. It's like go ahead and fail with him if you want to screw us like that, but whatever. He'll still make us competitive, but I guess the Seahawks are signing Ziggy Ansah. They're in the finals of that, which I'm sure. No, Bruce Irvin was from Detroit as well, so it's like he'll be all right. But no, Chancellor was already not playing ever again, and Baldwin. That was a discussion what was happening with what I mean. He's what, a 5'9", 5'10" wide receiver,
Something like that.
getting playing on the outside. He's not even a slot guy playing
Cam
on the
is
outside, getting crushed.
absolutely. Cam's absolutely going to be a pizza Hall of Famer.
But that allows the Lockett to get re-signed for the big money. Which
Y'all
which
have a
is
running
thing.
back?
Like that plays a lot.
Like an actual running back? Did they put anyone in the backfield
They-
ever?
Yeah, no
They-
shit.
they-
Your
they-
running backs keep fucking me on fantasy. I'm not gonna lie. This guy's gonna
What
do
it all
shit.
comes back
none of
to.
them. None of
by
them
the way,
play.
language, whatever you want to say, is by all
None of
means,
them
go
play
ahead.
except because of the
I wouldn't expect
NWCC
anything else.
regulations.
We have Josh's Bukaki shirt on over here.
I just ripped a Chipotle fart. We're good.
I mean, Rashard Penny was a more or less a bust. They rotate different guys through. I mean, nobody's going to be a 20 carry a game guy. If somebody gets 12 to 15, then they're doing all right. But it's going to be 2 or 3 guys.
McCaffrey's going to turn into a 30-touch game guy this year.
His arms are bigger than players' thighs
He's got
now.
huge. Where did that come from?
Well, Josh answered that question just while.
HGH, I believe he said.
Whoa! As a Panthers fan, allegedly, I'm not. No, I
If
don't.
his chest
I'm a
got
Broncos.
I
bigger
don't think
too,
so.
I would buy it. But it doesn't look like it did.
I need to see helmet size.
Yes.
So it's funny we were talking about that. I just had something pop up on my Twitter. There's only a few people I really follow on Twitter. There's a lot of everyone at the end of the day is trying to sell something, so I'm very selective.
As I get my
with what-
Seahawks information on my phone.
Who do you guys think? Okay, highest public concentration for the NBA tonight, and the highest sharp concentration. So we got the 4 teams going: Portland and Denver on the west, and then on the east we have Toronto and Philly. So on the east, who do we think?
I think public is on Toronto heavy.
You're correct.
And I think the public's heavy on Denver.
I'd say Portland. I don't think the public knows that Denver exists.
Yeah, the higher sharp concentration, according to @the_sharp plays on Twitter, very very reliable source, is on Denver. So he has the highest public on Toronto. I mean, you just nailed them both. And then he has the.
I used to be a degenerate gambler for a while there. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I'm like, "Ooh, you want to come on and talk gambling? By all means, let's do this."
He was so excited too. I don't know who was more excited. I was like, I got 3.5 pages of notes to send you here. Let's get this shit cracking.
Yeah, no. He sent me like, "Oh shit, yes."
To give more detail,
I might start gambling again.
No, we are not condoning degenerate
I am 100%
lifestyle.
condoning gambling, hookers, and booze. And if you want to do drugs, by all means, I don't know.
To give more.
Why do you have to like make drugs like it's weird? Just say do it.
Okay, fine.
Hookers and booze are
did make it
fine, but
weird.
don't you dare touch that weed.
Prostitution's already illegal. Do drug. Weed's boring. It's not even drug anymore.
No, go ahead.
How about Denver? Speaking of Denver, decriminalizing magic mushrooms.
I know.
So yeah, it's not that it's
Thank
not
you,
illegal.
Joe Rogan.
It's still he did push that hard.
Thanks, Joe Rogan.
So it's still illegal, but it's like the lowest thing on their priority list. So where they just give you a ticket now, like they used to for weed.
They'll be like, walk away.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with trying to enter a certain elemental plane of existence. Okay, you have a right as a human being to chase that. So
to give more context on the Seattle one, both of them failed their physicals. I'm kind of surprised Cam even took one, but I mean he was never going to play again. Mm-hmm. And so it appears that the Baldwin situation is as bad as they thought.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he even tries to go somewhere else because it's a neck-related injury, which
So where do you stick
paralysis is
Cam
not a good
Chancellor
thing.
all-time great safeties?
Well, I don't know that he's the best safety in Seahawks history. Kenny Easley, the hitman, is number one.
Well,
I mean, he and Ronnie Lott came out of college opposite of each other. Easley was at UCLA, and Ronnie Lott was. By the way, Ronnie Lott, 3 of the 4 guys were like All-Americans, and I think 3 of them were All-Pros, and 2 of them ended up in the Hall of Fame from USC with Deron Cherry that was with the Chiefs, and also there was another safety that was with the Chiefs that was at USC with Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, we're on Facebook Live.
And then Kenny Easley. So I think it would be
Stevie's
easily.
probably on there.
He did. He
talking
said,
shit.
They said you look like Big Bird in that yellow shirt.
Represent.
I think it's Easley, and then Chancellor and Thomas are right there as the second one.
Actually, Earl Thomas might be
He's
better.
He might be better than Cam, but
when it's all said and done.
But Cam though does have the hurdling the offensive line 3 consecutive plays, blocking the field goal against the Panthers and the Cam quake too.
I remember that
Nonsense.
God, I hate Cam Chancellor. I've never liked him.
He went to Virginia Tech. And
I
still all right.
know.
I've always weirdly liked Virginia Tech. I don't know why. I think it was because of Vic.
Defense and special teams too, and then they would do the fun stuff in football.
Anyway, so go on.
Just had another from the Sharp Plays on Twitter. Who do we think's the highest public concentration on the NHL side tonight? The Bruins, Carolina.
Boston.
Easy.
Not even close. Yeah, they said it was not even close. Now, they said there wasn't, he said there was not a lot of sharps coming in on Carolina. So that to me, just stay away. When you don't know, because the number, because hockey's weird. Like in NBA, obviously, you're going to be points. Now, obviously, it's going to affect the money line as well. But in hockey, it's just going to be more money to win the game, so it's just going to continually, cent by cent going up on the money line.
As earlier in one of the previous podcasts I was telling John is like I think 66 to 68% of the time in the NBA, the team with the best record wins the title, and when they don't, the team from their conference ends up gets it to or whatever pushes it up to like 86% of the time. So like the NBA, it's like you got an idea of not only who are going to be in the finals, but who's going to win it. Statistically pretty solid.
The Bucks are going to win it.
But the NHL,
I've been saying that since the beginning.
But the NHL is the most ridiculous thing.
You want to make a wager? The first wager on the podcast is this?
No. The Nicola Prides aren't real ones.
Right. You really want to make a bet on that? Well, you think the Warriors take it all?
I think we absolutely should.
On what?
I think we were going to make a bet on the Bucks. Now it has to be obviously if the Bucks come and if the Warriors get there.
So you think the Warriors win?
I think the Warriors win.
And
with or without Durant?
It doesn't. No, he just said
the Warriors win.
The Warriors win. If the Warriors make it to the finals,
I think the Bucks
against the Bucks.
Now I agree with that.
Win.
But
if Kevin Durant isn't there, I
think
I got Bucks in 6.
I get the Bucks sweep them. They're playing that well.
Brogdon's back too.
Yeah,
and they sweep them.
As a tired, no context player, he had 10 points and like 8 rebounds and 6 assists.
That's what he does. He does a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit of everything. He's good enough to do that. I think the
best player from a terrible rookie class.
7 guys.
I say
in double
sweep,
figures.
maybe 5. I think the Bucks are that good.
You don't really need
6
that.
without Durant.
Oh, there's no way.
Durant?
There's
What about
no
with
way
Durant?
Golden State
What
gets
about with
swept.
Durant?
Golden.
There's no way Golden State gets swept.
I hate the
Golden
Warriors.
State in 6.
As a
With
Cavs
Durant.
fan, I hate the Warriors.
despise
Come
them.
on
My
now,
heart
we're being
is saying that right now
blasphemy
because I hate the fucking Warriors.
They are
But it's
too
like-
good of a shooting team
Yeah, but
to get
it's like,
swept.
I hate Golden State so much. Nothing hurts my feelings more than when I watch James Harden play basketball. It's everything you're not supposed to do. It's terrible,
And it works.
But I want Houston to win the series. I hate Golden State that much.
I think everyone wants Houston to win the series.
I think
but
everybody
I
hates
agree
you.
with
Everyone. Listen, if you're a basketball fan, unless you were born in fucking Oakland, you shouldn't be a Warriors fan. First off,
you're saying that in the absolute wrong part of the country, though, because
Because
this
Curry.
is
Curry's from
Curry's.
Charlotte. We're
This
in
is
Curry
Time out. Can we
country.
take 1 second? This is a serious matter here. Curry's wife yesterday.
Oh, coming as a give me attention.
There are not enough dicks in social media to fill up all of her DMs right now because every one of them was sent
over
to
under
her.
1,500.
Over
10,000.
over under dick pic sent to Ayesha Curry.
People who've never
Guys,
sent one sent one.
Guys,
I gotta get it.
wait. Hey, can we all send Ayesha Curry a dick pic? On Facebook Live right now.
I would love to because I fucking hate her.
Do you guys want to make a 4-leaf clover?
She is literally Ayesha Curry is literally one of, if not the worst basketball wife ever. Like I can't stand her. Dude, she's nothing.
I didn't even know what I would have
have
done if I would have seen that shit. Like, how do you think that conversation went yesterday? Bitch, I swear to God,
Well,
if you
we
ever,
saw.
if you ever,
Did you
Do
see
you think
the
Steph
meme?
can intimidate anybody?
Did
Yeah,
you see
fair
the memes
enough.
come out when Ayesha
Heinz
walked in?
Ward.
When Ayesha
Those
walked
are
into
hilarious.
practice yesterday, and it
All right,
shows
guys,
a picture
I'll-
of Kevin Durant with his eyes closed, and like Klay Thompson with his lip bit.
You want to know how the conversation went? What did Curry shoot yesterday? Like 27, 30%? I mean, he was
He really picked it up at the end, though.
at the end, though.
When Durant went out.
He was
When
well,
Durant
that was
went out? Like
that
his-
was his opportunity. It's
Well,
like, well, here's my dick pic, Aisha.
Yeah.
Let me show you what I can do.
No. I hate her.
never thought maybe he's tired for being out there balling all the time. Maybe he's tired.
No, I just think it's tough to play with Kevin Durant, and like in the playoffs, because in the playoffs, like the way they play it's more of a half court game.
It is.
So like Durant gets the ball in those opportunities, and it's just it's weird for Clay and Curry to play that way.
Well, and historically, Curry has been exhausted at the end of playoffs because he is of a slighter frame.
Yes.
He's been in the playoffs how many years in a row?
This
He's
one-
played
this
more
is the-
games.
I don't want any
than-
excuses. See LeBron last year.
Yeah, you're right. LeBron put up
Fuck
the average.
LeBron.
You're at the wrong podcast.
You were the biggest fan last season. I remember at Bonnaroo when they lost. He was so sad.
Yeah, so we're on the way to Bonnaroo, and they're like, all right, we got to be safe on the way just for obvious reasons. And so the game started. It was game 3. We were down 2-0. Went 2-0 in the series. Remember, like it was yesterday, unfortunately. And everyone's like,
they search you on the way in.
everyone's like, no one drink on the way in. So I just keep on sneaking back. The game keeps on getting worse. Just keep on drinking more Avion,
He drank like
tequila.
3/4 of a bottle of tequila. He
So
was
finally-
shit-faced. Everyone's
I
yelling at
still
him.
apologize for that squad. I love all y'all. That was a.
They're
But,
watching.
I got it out the way early. Everyone
You
had their
apologize
moment.
to your festival squad. You used to apologize to them.
He fucked
It
up
was
on the
bad.
way in.
It was
Name
bad,
drop all
though.
of them.
It was bad. Stevie, Hashem.
Oh God, you know Ash's
DJ.
about to freak out. Bro, you said my name in public. Bonnaroo, the helicopters. I hear them now.
Hash watched. He's watched Goodfellas 1 too many times.
Yeah,
That's funny. Fine, that was a blast.
it was too
But-
much fun. The lineup
Yeah,
sucks this year.
serious.
I'd go.
And the lineup's not that good. I want to go to Shaky Bees this weekend, kind of, but I don't know.
Well, so speaking,
Did you see that?
Does anyone want to go to Holy Shipwrecked for my birthday?
I want to go. I want to go to that. I'm coming.
Possibly.
Holy Shipwrecked?
Hold on. If you get a crew of 4, it's $1,300 a piece, all inclusive, booze and food.
Done.
So
Going.
you just got to fly down there.
Wow.
So if that's another $500, that's a festival for $2,000. I spent $1,000 on booze at Bonnaroo.
This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here is a machine. What? Every minute, like, yeah. Some people double fist. He's 4-fisting. I mean, he's got 2 in this palm, 2 in the other palm. Swear to God, at one point his middle finger was carrying a beverage. Like I have never in my life.
The shot and the chaser in the same hand.
Every bartender at Bonnaroo
chasers?
knew him personally.
What the
by
beer
name
is
and
for.
by when it was all said and done.
I was on the way back. I looked at my bank account. I was like, I'm not going out for a few weeks.
It's all right. I came.
$21 a pop plus tip.
It's like going to Vegas, or
I mean, they're big
still
drinks.
not as bad as going to Vegas for drinks, but
No,
still.
but the thing is,
I
like,
got a double rebel vodka.
Yeah,
You're at Hakkasan, like, oh, that'd be $75. Like,
40.
holy shit!
yeah,
Wait, what?
No, but we would go out at 3 p.m. and Cascades. That dickhead, thank you though. Played till 7 o'clock in the morning for the after party. So
I would love
Zombies
that.
walking
Oh, man, I would love
dude,
that.
we're all walking back, like trying to force feed ourselves pizza. Like
I remember going to being at Encore Beach Club for
I fell into the bed and just died.
all that Encore Beach Club for fucking laid back Luke for the beach at a pool party. I'm like, yeah. So what are those? Those are the pictures of mojitos. I'm like, I'll take 2. That'd be $300. Okay, cool. dump them into the pool. I'll take another.
There's just certain places where
you shouldn't
Vegas,
do.
Miami.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Vegas, our friend Blue was there last week, and I gave him 4 picks, 3 of which were winners, 2 of which were plus money. He didn't play any of them.
Of course, Blue's not gonna play.
You just lost all that money on blackjack, and I gave you freaking a 75% rate, and you could have walked away with some money or thrown on some titties because I know Blue.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a strip clubber. I feel like he definitely frequents the strip club.
He spends half the time at Crazy Horse 5.
Am I the only one that goes to the strip club just to eat?
No, I did.
Yeah. You guys want to go next Wednesday?
Yeah, we should go next Wednesday. Hey guys, we're gonna have a
It'd be awesome if we could do a podcast at Men's Club.
company meeting. We'll have a company meeting again at Men's Club for lunch. We'll discuss the podcast and we'll write it off on the expense account.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
We should all go to lunch, then come out here and film.
I don't know, but I don't want to be in a basement with you after that buffet. Are you kidding me? God, no.
I'll rub it out in the car.
I feel like there's experience.
No, hold on. Speaking of terrible Men's Club stories, I left Men's Club.
He'll handle his business.
Yeah. So I left Men's Club shit-faced one day at 4 p.m. And I got in my Uber. I get picked up, and I'm telling him about, man, the great deal in the food inside. He's like, oh, well, I'm a pastor. I don't go in there very often. And I was like, oh, God, drop me
You can go
off.
save lives.
Yeah.
Or souls. Anyway, so, yeah, I would,
I'm a pastor. Fuck.
So if I were a betting man, I would play the Canes tonight. I would play Denver, and I would personally play Philly.
Well, we have to keep track of this now.
Go ahead, say it
Let's
again.
See who's.
We're gonna start. You want to start actually keeping
We
track of these
absolutely have
plays?
to keep track of this. Oh, absolutely.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go around. We're all gonna get 3 plays.
All right.
For
So
tonight.
this is today's May 9th, right?
Mm-hmm. Any odds you guys would like to currently know? We will look up. We will go by Bovada Sportsbook.
So we'll go on and do hockey first because there's only one game tonight for hockey.
Let's do it.
It is currently going to be the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Boston Bruins in Boston.
And you said Boston minus 130?
The game starts at 7 o'clock, right?
No. Boston minus 150.
150.
Plus 130.
Okay.
I believe we were at 8 o'clock. Let me double
Is it
check.
8 o'clock?
that.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay, out of curiosity, what do you guys think the over-under is on that for total goals scored?
4.
5.
The fucker said 4.
5.5.
Josh, you're fucking killing it.
All right.
5.5?
On the dot.
Wow.
On the dot. Killed it. All right.
I need to start doing this shit.
So what we'll do is
I don't gamble on hockey, so
we're gonna take all. We're gonna take all
You're
the big
picking what it
games.
is. You haven't chosen the side.
I don't know. We're going to pick games, or you can say if you could do, if you
One
want,
pass.
you can do money line, or you can pass,
One
and then
pass.
we're also going to do over under.
All right, let's do that on all the 4 games tonight. So the 2 hockey games and the 2 NBA games, and then
Isn't
we'll.
there one hockey game?
There's only one hockey game tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking at tomorrow.
You're looking at tomorrow night's game between the Sharks and.
We'll throw in tomorrow's for fun. Do 2 and 2.
The
Yeah,
Jets.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
How much-
Let's
How
go
much
do it.
hockey can I be horribly wrong on? Let's do it.
I mean,
Alright.
you just nailed. All right, so we're gonna go around. What we'll do is we'll rotate who goes first. All right, Josh, Hurricanes, Blues, Carolina plus 130, Bruins minus 150, over under 5.5, juice towards the under. So it's a little bit higher on the juice on the unders minus 145.
I was going to take the under,
So you're taking under?
and I got winning the game.
For who? Money line on
You taking money line?
Carolina or Boston? No, there obviously is a puck line.
Carolina
All right.
takes game 1, steals it. It's in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So you're taking under 5.5 money line Canes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. For me,
Gosh, that's a
I say over.
unfortunate number because I mean 3-2 and it's like that's still not over there. It's like ooh.
I take over, but actually,
I mean 3-2 is not over, and that's a
lot of goals.
that's a lot of goals in the
there's
playoffs.
a lot of goals. But no, there's been a lot of goals in these playoffs.
Yeah, but usually it's been like 7-2 and it's like over early.
True.
And those were earlier rounds. These are now the teams that are hot.
I don't think either of these teams are getting blown out.
No.
Okay, you know what? Now that you said that, I'll take under, and I'll do money line Canes.
Changing John's mind a lot today.
I know, you assholes.
Have your convictions.
This game is totally going to be 2-2 going to overtime, and it's like, oh, all the overs just lost.
6-0 Boston.
Right? And Jerry, how about you?
I'm going to go over, and I'm going to say that Boston stays hot because they've been playing. I do think Carolina takes 2 and 3 though. But
So
I'll
you
go
say
with Boston.
over, money line Boston?
Yeah.
Does hockey do it like basketball? 2-2, 1-1-1?
It's yes.
Yeah, okay.
And Josh,
Had to think about it for a second.
how about you?
You know what? I was gonna go Hurricanes, but I'm gonna change that now. I'm gonna go Bruins, and I'm actually gonna go under 5.5. I agree with staying hot on that. I think it's too many games. Yeah, I think it's too many games off.
I don't know.
And that's why I think it might be over, because I think it might be like 4-2.
All right, let's stay on hockey. Let's get tomorrow's game going. We have the St. Louis Blues versus San Jose Sharks. The game 1 in San Jose.
And Blues were the 8th seed, weren't they? And the Sharks were also like the 6th or something. I mean, both of them were, I think, the lower seeds.
I have no idea about either team.
Well, this is the only thing I know about.
Making shit up.
Both 8s beat both 1s, and both Stanley Cup finalists got knocked out. So it's like 4 upsets just in the first round.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, let's start with you this time. We're going to go with, let me get the lines, because no, we didn't. Anyone want to guess the line?
For that?
Yeah, we haven't gone over this one yet. It's in San Jose, game 1.
I think 4.5 is the goal for over-under.
You think 4.5 goal? I'm going to say Sharks minus 180.
Tampa Bay is the 8th seed.
They were, but that's
Tampa
we're in
Bay
the
was
West.
number
though.
one,
This is San
actually.
Jose.
Which game are we
Yeah,
doing
Tampa
now?
Bay was the 8th. This is the West now.
What teams?
St. Louis Blues and San Jose Sharks.
Oh, yeah, wrong game. I know nothing about hockey. I'm going to go ahead and make this up.
No, Tampa had like one of the greatest regular seasons in NHL history,
And they
got
lost.
swept.
By the
Beautiful.
Jackets, and we lost.
Okay.
Blue Jackets fan. Should have been a 5-minute major.
Yeah, so I don't know nothing about
Oh
this
my
team.
God,
All right.
that's my Vegas thing.
San Jose is going to lose.
Okay, so Josh is on the St. Louis Blues.
No, wait. You didn't get a line. We haven't heard a line yet.
Yeah, because we're guessing the line still.
Oh,
I guess my
Money line.
130.
Minus a plus.
To the 6th seed.
We're just all right. We're gonna skip Josh.
Yeah, I don't know these teams.
All right, Jerry, you start off with the picks.
So
All right.
what
The
was
number-
the
Actually,
actual
no, give the line,
information?
please.
San
What's
Jose
the actual
Sharks.
information?
San Jose Sharks minus 125.
125.
Wait,
huh?
is it,
St.
the
Louis
Sharks
Blues
6th seed?
plus 105. Look up seeding real quick. I don't. I
I was
can't
about to say,
look
I
at
was
it.
off by 5. I was close. Why'd you skip me?
Off by 5.
Because you said 130 to the
I
6th
said
seed.
130.
All right, so Jerry, go ahead. You start first.
I was off 5.
Wait, time out. Over under 5.5.
5.5 again.
Oh, I'm definitely going under on this one, and it's San Jose versus who?
St. Louis Blues.
Okay, St. Louis Blues.
San Jose minus 125.
The Blues
on
have
the
been
money
playing
line.
well.
Blues plus 105.
I'll start. I got the Sharks.
No,
winning.
I'm going to the I'm going St. Louis because the Sharks won in overtime to win their last series. I think it will be the Blues, and then under.
All right, me. I got Sharks.
5.5. That's
I've been riding the
jerk,
Sharks.
jerk number.
I've been riding the Sharks, and they've been getting kind of lucky. I got the Sharks winning, and they're still playing. I mean, I think once again with hockey, hot, no break, keep playing.
I agree.
Sharks, and I'm going to say over on that.
Damn, those are both my picks too.
I know I'm good.
Both my picks. Now I'm worried. Now I think I need to change them.
Oh fuck you! I am not the public.
All right, Josh.
Josh,
The number 8 seed Tampa Bay Lightning.
Here we go.
San Jose Sharks home team minus 125. St. Louis Blues plus 105. Total over under 5.5. Game 1.
Over. And Sharks.
Damn. I'm gonna go over in Blues. No, I don't know.
you sticking Sharks?
That was an impulse pick. My pick was Sharks, but
I'm just guessing.
I know you are. No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say with Sharks. Sharks and over. I'll add those. Yeah, Sharks and over.
All right, so we're gonna go and switch over to NBA.
All right.
Thank God.
NBA tonight we have the Portland Trailblazers versus the Denver. Why
Denver
Nuggets? Excuse me, Jesus, brain.
Just think of when you think of Denver weed Nuggets.
Nugs.
Denver weed nugs.
Denver Nugs.
What do you want after smoking weed? I would assume.
So
Nugs.
the over under on that is gonna be like, ooh.
Okay, let's say I don't know how often you guys look at this. Totals for that are usually 200 plus.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I knew that. I'm trying to think of.
What was it? I was.
That game's going to hit like 235.
I'm gonna say.
I say like 120, 115. Easy.
I'm gonna say over under is gonna be set around like 240.
I think the
No,
over.
way off.
I think the
No,
over.
no,
I think the over under is
215.
No, I think the over under is 220.
215.
214.5.
214.5. Okay.
Who
But
you
I
think's
think-
fair?
You saying what you think, it just threw me off.
No, I'm saying I think I'm taking the over first and foremost.
Okay, so we have Josh's first pick, the over.
All right,
Yeah.
so wait. This is Denver
Portland.
Nugs.
And I got Portland. It's in Portland, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got Portland
All right,
over.
no, what, 214.5.
Yeah, and I think over by like 20 points.
So BJ, Big Josh.
It's
says,
a terrible nickname.
I know. You're taking
Bukaki Josh.
Bukaki Josh. Anyways, you got Portland, right?
Yeah.
Port, and you say over?
120 to 115. Yep, over.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. I got Nugs. I'm taking the over.
Would this be the closeout game?
For the Nuggets.
Right?
For the Nuggets, it would be.
3-2, yeah.
It's game 6.
And Jerry?
Portland and over. They're
Josh?
they're a
I
different
want
team at
the
home.
under. And
They are a different team at home, though. You're right.
I want Portland first quarter -1.5.
Shut up.
That was actually my pick today. Free pick alert. I honestly have been thinking about this game all day. Denver on the road is just not the same team. They're not, and they had a good game last game, but Dame doesn't want to go out, especially in front of the home crowd. Here's my biggest thing. I mean, I like Portland. I don't like -3.5 at all.
Would you buy? You can buy.
I would
points?
go. You can, but at that point, I mean, you're going -120. I mean, so if to buy up to down or buy down to 3, you'd be at -120. When the money line's 160. So I wouldn't take this game, but if I were, I would bet the money line. But obviously, for sake of this, I will go Portland -3.5, and I'll go under 214.5.
So you're going to take points? Portland 3.5?
Yeah, Portland -3.5. Oh, are we picking? I thought we were picking with the points. With
you want to do points with NBA?
I mean, if it's 3.5, I got
I think
Portland.
we should do
I got
points
Portland by
because
5.
The money line.
Everybody
just, it's not
else has
apples
known
and
what's
oranges.
going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not apple. Because I mean, you got a -160 to -140, and then the next game we have a So those are the points on the games.
All right. Well, I'm still taking Nuggets.
Okay, so Nuggets are +3.5.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets win.
Who's
outright
was it
anyways.
Nurkic? He's the one that's hurt with Portland. God, if he was healthy.
Tanner's got a fucked up shoulder.
If he was
Yeah, and
healthy,
he's
that'd be a different
fasting
story.
for Ramadan or
How long does it last?
A month.
I don't know. They were
Moon to
talking
moon.
about it on show I was listening to earlier.
It's the
I
NBA
don't know
playoffs.
much
You
about
better
it.
tell
Yeah,
God to shove it.
The Ringer told.
Shoot, that's what the guys in the Champions League are doing the same as well, and they're running for 90 minutes.
Salah and all them. Yeah, no, they did a whole article about that on the Ringer, talking about all that. So anyway, so you got Portland at 3.5.
Hakeem Olajuwon won a title.
I got Nuggets
Ramadan.
winning outright, obviously. So money line.
Just
So
put
they're
my-
obviously going to cover
money
plus
line's
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 or +140.
Anyway, so next game is going to be Houston and
No, it's
No,
Raptors.
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 Philly.
Sixers.
Excuse me.
Yep. Well, let's just guess who's favored. Instead of guessing the points, let's guess who's favored. Well,
On
we already
this
went
one?
over this one. This is
No, we already went over this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
I got Sixers.
Well, yeah,
Sixers are favorite.
what's the over/under on this one?
No, I'm going to guess on this one. 209.
Yeah, I think it would be lower. I got 210, 211.
much
Yeah,
better job.
I think, yeah,
212.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be lower.
This is where the professionalism of the line setters is ridiculous, because it's much lower, but it's one basket difference. Yet it'll end up being the difference.
You have no idea. Some of these games and how they end, you couldn't write it. If you were to write the ending of this game and had the wildest dream of how it would end.
My favorite part of
come out.
Scott Van Pelt is the bad beats with the bets that it's like there's no way that it should go
Again,
the other
Johnny,
way,
think
and
about
it just
I'm not
happens.
going to lie to you. That's what got me out of gambling for the last 2 years. These bad beats I was taking.
Like the
sometimes.
Knights game the other day against San Jose.
Oh, no. And then
Flurry and net.
Three
3-0,
goals in the last
10
4
minutes.
minutes. Oh.
You can't tell I'm a little angry about it still. Like, that shit had me shook for like 3 days. I woke up the next morning and
especially
I've never had a
when you're
dog,
gambling
but I
on
fucking
college
my own dog
basketball, the bad beats on college basketball are the absolute
against
worst.
buzzer beater.
Or no, not even that. Oh, they rush to bring
People
the-
trying to still score.
Yeah, people still trying to still, and you're like, wait a second, that kid got bought because you're like, that's bullshit. He has no reason. He should have scored. Why did he do that layup there with 2 seconds left, open court.
Because it's college basketball. In the NBA, you're
No.
a professional, so you don't score because you won, because that's all that matters. In
No.
college, it's like, when's the next time I'm going to be on the court? I don't know. I'm going to go run.
That kid scored because he got bought.
All right, so what do we do? We're doing now. We're doing Philly and Toronto.
Yeah, 212 Philly
plus 2.5.
Philly 2.5.
Philly 2.5.
I got. I think Toronto wants to go ahead and close this out so they can get on to Milwaukee. They don't want to let them rest too much. They don't want Brogdon to get more healthy. I got Toronto closing it out today by like 10 or 15.
Damn.
Raps.
This
So
month's
over under.
bold statement.
Under.
Say it with
Under.
the chest,
I don't think
Josh.
Philly scores that much.
I
Under.
agree. I think it's Raptors and under.
Philly might have 92 points.
Yeah, I think they're going to lock them down. They're not going to let
Phillies.
them.
Will you write that down? Per
What?
Josh, Philly's
92
gonna have
points.
92 points, so we can laugh at that next week.
All right, watch.
So this is becoming a regular segment.
Philly's gonna have at least
John begging for anyone else to be wrong.
108. Philly at least 108.
You think
Philly
Philly's?
will have at least 108 points.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna say Josh. Let's go put you.
BJ.
Bukaki Josh. That's my new podcast name is Bukaki Josh.
108.
That's
for Philly.
ill.
So you're taking the over.
Yeah, but I have 100. Yeah, I want the over, but I think Philly will score 108 points.
Yeah, I got
Josh-
that. I got
okay,
that. Yeah, 92. And then
But for that, I want the over and Philly.
you
plus
got
2.5.
Philly. Yeah, see, I like Philly.
You better believe if it's in the 90s, you're getting the biggest fuck you text ever.
I'm gonna put me.
Now that I know what happens in the Game of
I say
Thrones, I don't really-
Philly. I say over. Honestly, that's what I was gonna say anyways, because I already guessed that Philly's gonna be favored, and I think this game's gonna go. Yeah. Anyways,
I
Jerry,
agree.
I agreed with Josh.
you think it's gonna be Raptors under?
Yes.
And for fun, we're going to do one more because it is Gold State and the Houston Rockets. And what is a
Minus
podcast about
Durant.
sports without talking about the biggest games of the weekend?
6-point spread.
7.
7 now. Yeah,
Houston
7.
Rockets -7. Okay, what do y'all think the over-under for this one is?
I'll go.
Golden State
I'll also
covers.
go. Also go. Joel Embiid less than 20 points,
Whoa.
which is
That's a safe
sticking.
bet right now.
Yeah, which is
Sticking to what he's been
sticking
doing.
to the below 90s.
He only exploded once.
Yeah.
I would like to think he's got a little bit of grit in him, and that
I-
he's going to...
Over under on this game, I'm gonna say
Those starters have played less than 20 games together. They don't know how to be successful together.
The over-under for Houston Golden State, it better be
219.
like 230.
No, 219.
225.
227.
212.5.
What?
They expect that much scoring differential.
Over. Over. Over.
That's the play that you don't want to make because
I
there's
have
a
to-
reason.
I have to.
That's the public's gonna hop on that.
Thought under. I immediately thought under. With
Under
because
because the public is like, wait, is that low?
And I beat our friend TJ last night on the over/under of that game. Just want to throw that.
I'm
out
just
there,
saying,
TJ,
like
if
the
you're
moment,
listening,
the
you're a
fact
bitch.
that both of y'all reacted that way is the reason they do this.
Yeah, for sure.
And that would be immediate under.
I'm still taking over. And
Okay.
All that being said,
I'm still taking over. And I got Houston winning the game, but I got Golden State covering.
see, here's my thing. I think if Houston wins,
So
I
no,
think
then
they
he's got
cover. That sounds
Go
dumb.
Warriors. Fine.
Let's go to the winners.
Yeah, I
Do
bet.
the Rockets.
Rockets win, but
Warriors
Golden State
cover.
covers. So I'd bet Golden State.
And you're taking the over? All right. I'm going to go ahead for me. No Durant. But that's what
Durantula.
they want you to take that. That's what they want. So my gut is saying Warriors. And Warriors under. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick with Warriors. That's not what I want to happen.
Wait, you mean Warriors covering or Warriors winning the game?
I think Warriors win.
Okay.
That's not what
So
I
then
want
Warriors
to happen.
covers to +7. So take the +7.5 or +7.
Yeah.
Gives you a little bit of wiggle room.
+7, Warriors +7. I'm going to say under. But it really pains me to say that because I hate taking the Warriors on anything. If you're smart, if you were smart 3 years ago and you were betting the Warriors every game, you won a lot of money. If you've been betting the Warriors the last 3 years, you've been winning a lot of money. Just letting y'all know that. There's always that one team that you find and you bet them. Just
Golden
like
State and over.
Golden State over?
I think Curry and Thompson are like, oh, we can shoot.
Close it out.
Yeah, and we can light it up.
You say over?
Yeah, I think Draymond Green will have the best game he's had the entire season because he'll be so excited that he doesn't have to
play
deal.
with Durant?
Yeah, and he'll say it by not saying it.
And Josh?
Couldn't think y'all are more wrong. I want Houston with bold letters, please, and some exclamation points, and under. I do think that the total that low, my only thought on the under is, and why I like the under outside of they want you to take the over, is Golden State is going to have to play defensively, especially without Durant. So I think there's going to be less baskets from Golden State. I don't think it's going to hurt them as much, but they were a team before Golden State, but you lose a big part like that, I think it's going to affect rhythm at first.
I don't know about that because you know what? When you watch the second half of that last game
Who's
last
starting
night,
now?
huh?
Who's starting?
It's Looney.
Jerberko?
It'll be
Or
Looney.
Looney?
Kevin Looney, right?
Exactly.
It'll be Looney. Drevko will be playing a lot more. I mean,
He don't play much defense.
no, but he can score some points. I mean, he lit up Boston
They have
to start the season.
they have
but he
nobody.
hadn't played a lot.
They have nobody to protect the rim.
No, I agree.
Not one person.
No, they don't have Bogut is back. He can't do it.
I forgot about him, but he's only going to play 12 minutes.
Yeah, no, he can't play more than that.
Anyway, so all right, guys, we have our bets placed.
Good time.
Not gonna lie,
Out of here in a minute.
it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. And really,
Picture that.
really interesting to see what happens on this Houston Warriors game.
Can't wait to see my hockey picks come to fruition.
If they do, he's gonna be so pissed.
Honestly, these games are such toss-ups tonight. I mean,
Hockey's so hard to
sometimes
call.
you don't want, like, on a game like or nights like tonight, sometimes you don't want to know what's going on because then you start to overthink it. You start to Sean McVay it, and you start to watch too much tape on Belichick.
God, who was it? No, the Warriors is a team I rode and made a lot of money off of in basketball, and then in football, who was it?
Well, you said 2 or 3 years
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, the Panthers. I won that season when we went to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
The Panthers won me so much.
They had to
money.
be underdogs in
Oh,
a lot of those
my
games. especially
God, when
against
we
the
went
big
15-1 that
teams.
year, and then I hit a 3-team parlay that year in the playoffs with the Packers and Panthers and who was it? The Steelers. Who did the Steelers lose to?
God, they probably made so much money on that Thanksgiving Day game against Dallas that year.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
know.
everyone and the brothers took
I made
the
$2,000 on
Cowboys.
a parlay, on a 3-team parlay, because I'm like, this is so easy, and it was literally right in front of me. Like anyone could have seen that. But anyways, we're gonna go and wrap this up, guys. Thank you for listening to Simon Says Sports. Guys, you want to have a any last
Totally
plugs?
went emotion on Golden State, but I'm staying with it.
Hey, you guys have any last plugs for yourself, Josh?
No, I plugged myself before I got here.
Well, you guys,
Zing.
Bazinga.
other Josh.
Twitter at jcovers704. Free picks daily. Check it out.
If nobody knows what bukkake is, make sure you Google it after the show.
Not at work.
Oh,
Definitely at work.
if you hate your job at work,
Hardwood floors.
Jerry.
Nothing else.
Yeah, well, this is John
Last words on
Simon.
Bukkake.
Oh God, this is John
Bukkake
Simon.
always ends in silence.
This is John Simon, the Bukkake Master for Simon Says Sports, signing off.